Welcome to the Supercheap Auto do-it-yourself tip for checking and replacing coolant hoses. Locate both the hoses that carry coolant between the radiator and the engine. One's at the top and the other at the bottom of the radiator. Squeeze each hose. It should feel pliable and springy. If it feels very soft and weak or very hard and brittle, it will need to be replaced. Look for signs of swelling or cracking, particularly on the vulnerable underside of the lower hose. Check that the clamps are holding the hoses firmly in position and are not corroded. Drain the coolant from the system before removing either of the hoses. Remove the clamp using the appropriate tool. If the hose is stuck and won't pull off easily, be careful you don't damage the radiator fitting by using too much force. It's better to cut the hose in several places so that you can remove it easily. Clean the hose fittings thoroughly on both the engine and the radiator with fine sandpaper or emery cloth so that it'll make a good seal with the new hose. Obtain new hoses from Supercheap Auto and compare them with the removed hoses to make sure that they are the same length and diameter. If the hose is a moulded type, the new one must also have the same pre-formed curve. Apply some sealing compound to the hose fittings and place the loosened clamp over the hose ends before sliding the hose into position on the block and radiator fittings. Tighten the clamp securely about 1/4 inch or 6 mm from the end of the hose. Be careful not to over-tighten and damage the hoses, but it is important that they don't fall off once the pressure in the cooling system increases. Refill the cooling system and then run the engine for a few minutes. Check the hose connections to make sure there are no leaks. When the engine is at its normal operating temperature, check the tightness of the clamps again, as the clamps and hoses will both expand at different rates as they heat up. Now you know a bit more about how to do it yourself thanks to Supercheap Auto. And remember, you're pretty sure to find everything you need for the job at your local Supercheap Auto store.